Hi, my name is Marcia Johnson, and together with my grandnephew Ryan, who does my video editing, we are Marcia's Crafts. Today we're going to be making this wonderfully wicked Halloween card, and I actually have been sometimes you go through periods where you don't have a whole lot of wonderfully brilliant ideas, and I've kind of been having that issue lately, mostly because I've had a lot of stuff going on. But anyway, I saw a similar card on the YouTube channel of Rick Atkins, and so I'm going to give him credit for the idea of this card. I've changed it up quite a bit, but the original card that inspired this one was his. So let's get going and see what you'll need to make this card. You'll need the wonderfully wicked cling stamp set, and we're using Have a Happy Halloween, the spider web, the kitty, and the bat. Also be using the embossing folder, which is stylish scroll, wicked dies, and we're using both. Actually, it's hard to see that way. It's hard to see that way too. You'll see it later. Put these down here. And of the layering circles, I just used the third largest layering circle, and all I did with it was cut out a mask. So look at the mask. This mask here was cut out with the third largest of the layering circles. For ink, we're going to use Memento, Blackberry Bliss, Rich Razzleberry, Pumpkin Pie, and Crushed Curry. I believe these are the same inks he used also, and we'll be using those to create our little sky. Okay, let's bring in our pieces. We'll have a background of basic black, the regular scored in 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. As usual, the measurements will be below. We also have a 1/2 inch piece of black, which is about 5.5 inches. We'll trim that down later. We have a piece of basic gray, which we're going to put through the embossing folder. We have a piece of that shiny black paper. I forget what it's called, but it's listed below. And we have some Granny Apple Green, the same size. We have a piece of Granny Apple Green that is 4 1/4 by 5 3/8. And one of these is just a 1/4 sheet. That's the one I'm going to be making my background on. We'll cut that down to size later. And then I have a piece for the inside that is 4 by 5 1/4. So pieces we'll be stamping are just these two and the envelope. But first, let's get going with our background. So let me bring in a piece of scratch paper because this gets pretty messy. Oh, and I'm actually going to take a ruler and just measure up from the bottom on each side about 1 3/4 inches, and I'm going to make a line. And that's where I'm going to stop my sky. Let's take our mask. You can see it's been used a couple of times, and let's put that right about here. It's pretty much in the middle, I think. Okay, let's get out our inks. Blackberry Bliss, Rich Razzleberry, Pumpkin Pie, and Crushed Curry. And then I have Daubers for each. We're going to start with our Crushed Curry. Make sure this stays down. And when I'm doing this, I like to start off the paper and then move on. Okay, then our Pumpkin Pie. Oh, while we're doing this, I might as well tell you about my week. Well, you know, last week Romeo had some surgery. He had a big lipoma removed from his leg, but he seems to be doing very well. But, you know, he is my pup, and it is stressful for me. Well, this week's supposed to be a great week because my nephew Scott is getting married on Saturday to a beautiful girl named Kristen. And we've been looking forward to this for a long time. Everything's all planned. Everything's going to be great. And then the winds came, and our local company, PG&E, shut down power to a lot of places because it's a safety thing, and since they're considered liable for anything that happens with their equipment, if it's too windy, they're going to be doing that from now on. So unfortunately, the venue and our rehearsal dinner restaurant were both in the areas where the power was going to be gone. Fortunately, I have very amazing nephews, and Phil, Scott's next older brother, actually had a generator, so the wedding venue wasn't going to be a problem because he has a generator, so we'd have lights, and it's going to be in a friend's backyard that they've redone, and it's gorgeous. So anyway, that was going to be fine, but the restaurant, that was going to be something else. We thought maybe we would have to have the rehearsal dinner in my sister's backyard, so we're trying to figure out what we're going to do if this happens. I think it would have involved a lot of, I don't know, Platters and Costco and Sam's Club and anybody else we could think of. So anyway, this morning though, turns out apparently the power's back on and life is good. But it really was a lot of worry. So anyhow, it would have been okay. The wedding would have been beautiful. The bride would have been gorgeous. Everything would have been fine. But I'm just glad everything is back to normal. So anyway, it's been a very stressful week. Plus I'm getting company today. So it's just, stuff happens. Yeah, it was crushed curry, then the orange, then the rich raspberry. I'm now doing the Blackberry Bliss. I think I got that rich raspberry a little darker than I wish I had, which means I think I'm going to have to make this a little darker than I might have wanted, but we'll make it work. My little bats are going to be a little hard to see, but oh well. The thing about blending is you just kind of commit to just keep going. You think it looks awful and just keep going to where, well, maybe it doesn't look so bad. Oh, that's interesting. I did get that one there a little darker than I wish, but we'll just have to live with it. Okay, let's pull that off. And we're also going to have to live with that, which I really don't like, but oh well. We'll put a bat there. Okay, then I'm going to go back with the crushed curry, and I'm going to get most of the ink off of that, and then just kind of give that moon a little bit of shading. Okay, except for that, not too bad. Okay, we're going to put our inks away, and I'm going to cut this down to 5 1/4 by 4. I'll be right back. Now let's finish up our stamping with our Memento Tuxedo black ink, and let's do the inside of our card, which is going to have a spider web in the corner. Okay, and then we're going to say, have a happy Halloween. Okay, next we're going to take our kitty cat and put him up looking at the moon. Then we're going to put some bats here, and normally my bats would mostly be up there, but I'm thinking, because for one thing, my boo-boo, we're going to have one go right here. Okay, that's not so bad. And actually, they're pretty dark. We'll have one go down here, and maybe we'll have one right up here. A little hard to see, but you can see it, so okay. Try not to get it quite so dark when you do yours. And one more stamping thing is our envelope, and that's also going to be our little bats, so let's bring them back. Okay, that should do it for our stamping, and we have some big shot work to do. So let's get our piece of gray out, and our shiny black, and our green. And for the shiny black, we're going to do Wicked, and we're also going to go ahead and cut out our little spider. Then for the green, we're just going to do Wicked. And for our gray, we're going to take that embossing folder, and I kind of wish it was wider because the pattern goes up and down, so that wouldn't work, and I didn't like it sideways. So what I tried was putting it in diagonally, and it actually worked pretty well. So let me find the pieces I've already cut. Let's get started with our assembly. As usual, I'll go ahead and put the inside. Then we will add a dab of glue to our little spider guy. I'm just going to put him right there. We'll add our green. I think before assembling the rest of the card, I'm going to put my Wicked together because I'm going to use glue for that. So I want to give it a couple of seconds to dry. So if you have a silicone mat, it's kind of nice to do it on your silicone mat, but mine's across the room, so we're just going to be brave. Just take your glue and little dabs will be very nice. And then we're just going to put that black on top of our green. Between the shine of the black and the shadow of the green, I think it's really nice. Let that dry for a little bit. Then we're going to take our kitty cat layer here and our piece of there. I think I'll just add it here. Butt it right up on one end and just run it across. Oh, actually, it looks like I cut maybe my gray layer a little long, but that's okay. I think I did that on purpose because sometimes when you emboss, it changes it slightly. So let's see, what did I get here? Yeah, it's all about 5.5. So we're going to butt it up on one end here, and then we'll trim off this other end. Trim this to fit. Okay, then we're going to add this to the front of the card. Now we could put this up on dimensionals if we wanted, but I'm just going to put it flat down. There we go. Then we'll add our wicked, and again, just with a little bit of glue. It is going onto an embossed surface, so probably a little bit more glue than you use to attach the two pieces together, because there are nooks and crannies here. Okay, I'll put that down right here. Got a little glue showing, but that will dry clear, so it won't be a problem. And then to finish it up, I have taken a dark granny green blend and colored in some rhinestones here. I'm going to take my little pierce tool. And I know these eyes are way bigger than the cat's eyes should be, but I think they look good. So, I mean, it's not like this is a real cat. And it kind of coordinates with the wicked and the other green. I really think it looks good. So, that's our card. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe you could give us a thumbs up. Perhaps subscribe to our channel. There's the one from today. There's the one I made yesterday. If you go to Rick Atkins' channel, you'll see it's different from his, but parts of it are the same. Anyway, have a great day, and see you next week, hopefully. Bye.